We have a brand new guest, a brand new friend of the interview goes well. Allow me to introduce NYXL YXLProject, top 25 creator, Warzone content creator, and a creator of their own esports and gaming organization. Everybody give it up for Demshenanigans! Woo!
Hi, everybody.
What is going on, Corey? By the way, that's also her name, maybe. I don't know if I was allowed to reveal that. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I do go by Corey.
Okay.
So, all good.
Amazing. Corey, thank you so much for joining us here on Late Night with Lois. How are you feeling tonight? How are you doing?
Good. A little nervous, obviously. I feel like that's kind of to be expected with what we're going through right now, right? Top 25. That's insane. Congratulations.
Congratulations. I think, it's in order for both of us. I also saw Algebra in the chat earlier. Congratulations. Good luck. Have fun, I guess. Maybe that's necessary to say. It's weird to think that we're competing against each other and we have never really met each other in person, and now we're going to in just a few days.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the things that I'm actually most excited about. Fun surprise fact, I have never been to New York City, even though I live in New York. So this is going to be my first time.
Wait, what? How have you never been?
I haven't had a chance to, for whatever reasons may have popped up, and I've always wanted to go, so it's actually kind of working out in my favor. It gives me the excuse and makes me go.
Yeah, hey, sometimes I feel like I need a reason to even be living here, But it's all good. It's no worries, because we're gonna have a great experience down in New York. And now that you're telling me you've never been, that's gonna make a later part in this interview a little more interesting for everybody involved. But the way that we like to start off this show is by asking my guests, how did you get your name? How did you become Demshenanigans?
So the name Demshenanigans actually started back in the early days of YouTube. My roommate and I had started a not so much podcast, but like the reality TV era thing back in the early days of YouTube. And it was just all of us early 20s getting into chaos for no real reason. So that was the name I came up with. And from there, I moved to Texas for a little while. Had some stuff happen medically, got back into content creation, and for some reason the name just like spoke to me for a couple different reasons. I always say shenanigans when I'm getting into trouble. So
how often do you get into trouble?
I mean, that's top secret.
Okay.
I don't know if I can say that on here. Shenanigans, I had the original Shenanigans Twitch handle for a while, and unfortunately I forgot my password. So Shenanigans, and here we are 5 years later.
So I've also noticed that your Demshenanigans with 2 S's on some platforms. How did you lose the password to all those, or?
So the 2 S's actually came across because as I was starting to ramp up my brand, I expanded into things like TikTok, like YouTube, everything like that. And people, for some reason, had already taken the one with just 1 S. And so it was kind of one of those like, okay, well, I guess we're going to use 2 S's in all my branding now. So my Twitter is the only one that has the single S on it.
Well, I mean, soon enough, you just have to kind of conquer all the other brands, right? You just have to, you just have to beat them down, right?
Fire Nation it, we're good.
Yeah, right? I think that's usually how it goes. If you get enough clout, you could ask the people to give that to you. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, right? You could talk to TikTok gaming, you could talk to like the Twitter gaming specialists, and they'll hook you up. I think. I'm pretty sure, maybe, right?
Fingers crossed. That's what we're hoping for.
Well, we'll get it eventually, right? We'll get them next time. Regardless, what is the name then? How did you have Westy Baby Corey? What is that name?
So that is my original Xbox gamer tag. I started playing PC, then I moved into Xbox. The name itself comes from a dance crew when I was living in New Zealand, and a nickname combined together, and it's always held a really special place for me, so that's been my gamer tag ever since.
That's awesome. So tell me about living in New Zealand. How long did you do that? How did you end up there?
So I had moved there because my father had married my stepmom from New Zealand. They met online. Super cool story, actually. And after that, I lived there. I went to high school there for a few years. Was probably there about 4 years. So it was really nice. I highly recommend it to anyone who's never been. It's amazing to have a different cultural experience and just see what else is out there in the world.
Can you do a New Zealand accent? Like, do you have
Oh,
it just
absolutely
down?
not.
No?
I used to have it when I moved back, but like I don't know. I haven't been able to do it since. I'm a failure.
So did you just revert back to your old self, or did a new accent kind of just find its way in there?
So I've heard a new accent emerged. Because I feel like I have the New York accent, right? Because I've lived here for so long, but then other people say that some of my words I have the southern drawl too. So I think I just can't have like this amalgamation accent, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what you have to do? You have to move around again just to pick up another one, and then no one can tell where you're from. You'll just be a mystery person.
It's like Pokemon, but for accents, right?
You got to collect them all, and then fight somebody who's collected them. Fight some actor at the end of the day, like some improv troupe that you just have to beat them.
Just throw down with them. It's fine. We're good.
Yeah, that's the Elite Four. It's just an Elite Four of actors. Unless they're like, into fighting, stunt acting, then you could probably beat them up pretty easily. I would imagine that most actors aren't a threat, really. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I'm potentially making an enemy with Hollywood right now, but you know what? I'm doubling down. Fuck them.
I mean, to be fair, at the end of your clip, like someone took your shoes. So are we really trying to square up with Hollywood right now?
Yeah, well, I mean that wasn't Hollywood. That was Brooklyn. So I think
Fair.
big difference on that one.
Love that clip though. That was so good.
Thank you so much. And I'd definitely like to talk about yours, but I wanted to do this whole thing. But fuck it, it's the natural progression of things. We go crazy here on Late Night with Los. So tell me about your original submission to the NYXL Young Creators Project.
So my original submission, it was really trying to showcase my story, who I am, and everybody who was submitting, I feel like they had very long, very epic, cinematic stories about themselves, right? And knowing that TikTok was the primary place where we wanted to submit it, one of my big things was I want to keep this short, sweet, and simple. I don't want to necessarily drone on about myself, but I still want people to know who I am, where I come from, and why I'm even in this contest or think I can do it. So that was really what that original clip was just a summary of all of that, for lack of better words.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely kind of gave us all the info that we would need to know about Demshenanigans, about Corey. And now moving forward, actually, no, there is one thing that really stood out to me. It was the union efforts that you took part in. Could you tell me about that?
So I, as a fan of Activision and Blizzard, I've been playing Activision games since StarCraft, the original StarCraft on PC. Um, Overwatch is how a lot of me and my friends met. It's actually how I met my partner. And Call of Duty, Warzone especially, has been super kind to me. So it was really something where when the news broke, we had actually just gotten a sponsorship for Warzone competitively for my team. And it was just like this week later, oh, I was about to say the word, but I'm gonna hold off here because I don't know what the rating is.
Oh, no,
But it was
you can
like
say whatever you want.
all right, cool,
Just
cool.
don't
So it
get
was
me
like this.
banned. I think that's the.
You're good. I got you. But it was definitely this like, oh shit, we just got set up with this, and now here we are with the devs mistreatment and the internet chaos that is, because obviously everybody had something to say on social media. The big thing about it was I wasn't seeing a lot of information from the devs themselves, the people who were boots on the ground, the people who were involved. So I started asking questions. I started kind of looking around, getting in touch with people and being like, hey, what kind of things do we need to know about this? What kind of things are you guys trying to get out there? And from there, the next thing I thought about was, okay, what can we do to like show solidarity with the unionization efforts of the staff without excluding people or making people feel like they're doing something wrong just because they want to play a game. And that's where Squad Up for Equality came into play, which was the financial protest where we weren't buying anything, we weren't making any microtransaction purchases. The reason behind that was we were sitting in Blizzard's financial calls and Activision's financial calls. I did the market research. A lot of Activision's profit comes from those microtransactions. And you would be shocked to see it. In fact, if you look at the numbers, they're public information. They're available to anybody. It's a quick Google search. So we spoke out on it. We explained what Squad Up for Equality was. It was absolutely 100% terrifying because we're just starting out. We just finished the first World Series of Warzone, and we just got the sponsorship deal. And I'm like, okay, well, this is either going to end our career, we're going to be the shortest lived organization of all time, or we're going to make some changes. So, next, took to Twitter, started explaining to people this is why we should financially protest. This is how this can be approached. Let's elevate the employee voices. Let's give them that microphone, because the more of them are speaking up and the more of us are elevating that, the harder it is for a company to essentially union bust, to target employees and make it so that one squeaky wheel just gets nudged away. If there's enough accounts repeating the same thing over and over, you can't just make it disappear. So that was the approach we took, was no microtransactions, no purchases, elevate the voices of the people who are victims of this, because it's not our business to insert ourselves into their situation. Our job in that scenario was to make sure that they can be heard and they can be heard safely and respectfully. It ended up getting pretty wild when we heard Activision on a financial call talking about financial, what was it? The exact term they used, I can't remember, but it was something along the lines of financial backed protests. So that was kind of one of those things where we're like, okay, so this is definitely working. And then stock prices came into play, keeping people updated on that. And yeah, it was pretty intense. I'm actually really, really proud of everyone at A Better ABK and CWA and We Are GWA, because Activision, as most people know, the Raven QA studio is now unionized, which is amazing. And Albany is actually working on unionizing as well. So it's really cool to see the growth and realize the part that we played in it and just how far it's come.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear that, we do have power. You can stand up to corporations like that. And I do very much appreciate how you were asking the employees what they need. What was their response for you or from you taking this method?
So honestly, I would like to say a pretty solid relationship with several of the employees there and several of the union organizers there as a result, because it's all about a matter of respect, right? when all this started, there were a lot of people who were trying to get involved or report on it, whatever the case may be, just so they could be the next news, versus actually taking a step back and saying, like, okay, like, what can be talked about publicly, what can't be, what can be, but names can't be attached, and really like coordinating that with the staff to make sure that the correct information is communicated.
I mean, that is it's inspiring to hear, because when I heard news about that whole debacle with Activision Blizzard, I thought, man, that's terrible. And then kind of just threw up my hands. That'll work itself out at some point, maybe. I don't know, because I've never thought of getting involved or anything like that, or trying to make an impact. And not to say like I didn't want something to change, but I don't know. I also thought maybe that would be detrimental, taking a stand like that. If it could hurt future opportunities. I mean, you were having those same fears, but even though you stuck through it, and that's incredibly inspiring to hear. So honestly, not military, but thank you for your service, Corey.
Glad to help. There's still a long way to go in the gaming industry, especially. There's a lot of studios that are trying to make their voices heard. And what I usually try to tell people is, like, if they have any questions or they want to know which accounts to kind of look at for that information, A Better ABK and We Are GWA are always an amazing resource for that, because they try to keep everything together. The Ubisoft efforts, the Riot efforts, obviously Activision's efforts, all of those are there for people to see and follow through on.
Yeah, so there is opportunity out there to make things better, but as we said, still a lot of work to be done. And speaking of more work to be done, we still have this final submission. You've sent it in, and it's kind of similar to what you've done in the previous one with that union efforts. A little bit of building a community, building up a force, and you've definitely built up quite a force in your community, in that they represented you in your submission. Tell me about that final YXL submission.
So for me, one of the big things that I see with a lot of creators is we tend to put ourselves front and center, right? Whenever we're making something, we want to showcase us specifically. And the thing that I don't see a lot of is creators taking a step back and saying, like, okay, yes, I'm here, but I wouldn't be here without my people. So with all of the love and support that I've had throughout the years, time and time again, it only felt right to touch base, kind of say, like, hey, it's me, I'm still here. I could go on about all of these different things that I'm able to do, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't be here without my people who have had my back, who have cheered me on, who have supported me every step of the way. And so it's partially a thank you and partially a moment of recognition for those people and all of the hard work that they've put in to help me get here.
That's awesome. What do you call your community?
Thunderdome Squad.
Thunderdome Squad.
It's my
Okay.
community, and it's also the competitive team. So.
Oh, that's definitely very interesting, because it makes them feel as though they're involved in all the team's efforts. It's kind of like all the highs and lows belong to everyone involved. That's actually very sweet. What I call I'm only recently admitting this on a large scale. It's the losers, baby. Where my losers at? Anybody? My mom's in the chat, by the way. So if we're talking about people who are involved and really do take part, Superfan 1996. Yeah, that's my mom. Shout out her if she if she chats again at some point. Anyways, moving on, I do want to talk about Thunderdome. Yeah, there she is. Woo! Moving on, I want to talk about Thunderdome Squad. How did you start that up? What was the inspiration for it?
So a lot of the competitive scene is very, you have to be the best of the best. You have to be number one. You have to have the best stats, the best numbers. You have to have some type of financial buy-in or come from a previous legacy org, as they're known. And one of the big things I wanted to focus on was there are plenty of people out there who are competitive that are past retirement age, as they say, that have different mental health struggles, that may have different disabilities or health issues and restrictions that make them feel like normally they couldn't be in the competitive scene. And Thunderdome Squad was the answer to that. It started as a group of us that were just kind of casually playing competitive. Then we started getting progressively more sweaty. Then somehow fell into the World Series of Warzone's round one. So it kind of evolved very quickly. But at the end of the day, it's really just a way to show people that no matter your background, no matter who you are, no matter how bad you may think you are, you have that opportunity to succeed and compete no matter where you are.
Definitely inspiring. But first, Overlord, thank you for the sub. So, talk to me about the first entrance of the World Series of Warzone. What was going through your head when you got that opportunity?
So at first it started as a joke among me, Fish, and Z, and we were kind of like, oh, haha, it'd be funny if we did this, because there's no way they'll actually accept us, right? There's no way we'll even get to go to qualifiers, right? Haha, this is funny. I mean, it's the first, we may as well try.
And then kind of like one
And
of those, unless.
And then we got the MLG notification that we were accepted for the World Series of Warzone North America Trios last year, and it was once again, oh shit, I really got to stop memeing my way into these things. And I'd actually just come fresh out of a invitational tournament that we had hit semi-qualifiers for, so I was like, you know what, let's give it our best shot. There's 300 grand on the line. Worst case, we don't make it, but at least we're showing up and we're trying. It was sweaty. It was chaotic. The rules were literally changing while we were in the lobbies. We spent a solid week prior just grinding Warzone. Like, we would literally, all of us at the time were out of work because of the pandemic. We would eat while playing Warzone. We would go to bed, wake up, play more Warzone. Like, everybody got real close in that week. And it was it was just a wild experience, honestly. So was the North American duos that occurred.
What's the training regimen that you went through?
So initially we focus on placements. Just because for most Battle Royale tournaments and at the time with the rule book, your placement multipliers are key. If you hit top 10, obviously you're going to have a different multiplier than if you're out in your 11 through 20 seats. And we want to try and obviously hit top 5 seats, so focusing on that placement was critical. After that, we started trying to focus on kills more, but we kind of walked into it. Nobody had a full idea of what the tournament was going to look like. Now the training regiment's locked down a bit more to where we're focusing a lot more on our team communications. We're focusing a lot more on figuring out roles to play. So you have one person who might be a little bit more long range versus someone who's a pusher. We have people who literally their sole purpose is to get us money so we can get our loadouts and keep it pushing. It's a weird, chaotic regimen, but for some reason it works.
What's your playstyle?
My playstyle, I'm a sniper.
Yeah,
I
you
am not
like
close
long
range,
range?
but I love to snipe.
See, that's actually the opposite of me. I am terrible at sniping. I never am able, like, I can pull off some good shots at Valorant or anything like that, but you're not going to see me pulling off some nasty snipes on controller, because my entire body jitters when I go for, like, a big impact. It's like I get recoil, like, ugh. Like, that's what happens when I shoot, so my thumb, like, the whole gun goes out of whack. They know where I am, and everything's ruined. So I'm definitely a pusher if you're looking for one. Maybe, I don't know.
You're like, Fish, got it. Fish is the same way. Like, I'll sit there and be like, hey, do not go in that building. There's a full team there. Don't push it. And as the words are leaving my mouth, I see someone busting through a window, and I watch the kill feed start up, and I'm like, on today's list of things we said not to do, here we are, though.
Yeah, I'm definitely the one that gets yelled at for going too far ahead. Lowe's, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Okay, well then probably not good for the team then. Damn.
You got this. I believe in you. I think you do great. We'll just put you with Fish. You two can just kick in the door together.
Mm-hmm.
If we got two people kicking in the door at the same time, you got better odds.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that sounds good. I always like the pincer maneuver. Anytime I'm doing casting and someone's doing a flank, I always say pincer maneuver because it makes me feel like I'm a tactician, you know, rather than just a flank. They're conducting the maneuver, and that makes it feel like a real battle genius.
I mean, hey, it always works. That's why I do sniping.
Hey, of course. So you also mentioned pretty earlier, I think it was through Overwatch, that you had met your partner. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So what was it like being an e-dater? They get clowned on quite a bit these days, but
So, originally Fish and I started off as friends, and then over time he became my duo partner for everything from Overwatch, Warzone, so on and so forth. And then he was also on the competitive team. And from there, you know, it was kind of one of those things where I was like best friend, going back and forth all day long. And he got really fed up with me saying, like, I'm done with men. I'm over this. I'm not dealing with this anymore in all of my dating chaotic stories. And he was like, you know what? Like, maybe we should just get together. I'm like, no. Next thing you know, here we are 9 months later.
yo, that's a real success story for all the boys out there in the friend zone. We made it.
You did it. It's possible. I swear. I swear to you.
Do you call him Fish in like a romantic setting, or
no? God, no. He's brought up the meme sometimes, right? Where he's like, oh, you know, there is that meme about their gamer tag. And I'm like, absolutely not. You'll be single. No.
Yeah, sometimes my girlfriend Kirsa has called me Los before, and I'm like, cut that shit out right now. That is not happening.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's like you have the switch too, because we stream together. So like I go to like start saying his name and I catch myself and I'm like, Fish. Fish.
You gotta keep the character. Gotta keep the character alive.
Exactly.
Well, a beautiful tale. It's fantastic to hear it. So I saw you taking a sip from an energy drink. What are you drinking right now? I want to know.
It is FullThrottle.
FullThrottle. So I feel like I never see that unless it's in like Advanced Auto Parts or some shit. Where are you even buying that?
Gas station.
Why FullThrottle? Why FullThrottle?
I don't know. I like it. I used to drink a lot of Monster, and that one, I don't know, it like started messing with my stomach and stuff. So this is one of the few that I can drink where I'm like, okay, it doesn't taste terrible, and it doesn't destroy my stomach. So small victories.
I mean, I honestly didn't know that they were still making those, Corey. I thought that kind of died out in like 2009 or 2011. But there's people supporting them, and I know now why it's still here. It's because of you.
It is. So like, funny story about this actually. I went through this whole like process, right, of trying to track them down because I was like, you know what? They don't have any like share in like the gaming market. This could be an opportunity. So I go track them down. I do this super nice sponsorship form email because they had a sponsorship form. Do the whole nice email presentation, whole nine. And then I get this little automated cheesy message that's like, okay, we'll get back to you in 48 hours. Cool. Like 2 weeks later, they're like, we don't have sponsorships. Okay. I tried. I really just wanted the free energy drinks to save myself money, but it's fine, I guess. We're here now.
You could have put them on the map. They fucked up. Well, you know, I've heard about like a way to get a sponsorship deal is to make a piece of content about them and then say, "Hey, look at what I did for you. We could do something. Maybe we could make it happen. We could get it cracking with FullThrottle. Demshenanigans
Right?
flavor of FullThrottle. I don't know, but maybe you'll be able to land them after making top 10, right? Then there's a lot more clout and star power, right?
Fingers crossed. Like I'm really hoping for that top 10.
Okay.
It's gonna be life changing.
That's a fact, and you know we're both working for it, for real. I believe in us. But I also want to talk about a relationship that you have with another beverage. What can you tell me about being a Jager model?
Uh we're talking about that. Well, I am a former Jägermeister model. I worked promotions in my early 20s throughout the upstate New York bars. It was probably one of my favorite jobs. At the time, I was making like $40 an hour, and it was all expenses paid. All I had to do was show up, look pretty, take some pictures, encourage people to do Jaeger bombs at peak Jaeger bomb time. Um, it's actually really neat because I still have a book with all of the recipes for Jaeger and a bunch of their other brands that they work with that are like different bar recipes that most people have never heard of. And I still drink a lot of Jaeger when I can.
I mean, if you're surrounded by it all the time, right? Isn't that a it's just encouraging. You gotta do it. Did you walk away with a ton of Jaeger merch?
I got a bunch of merch. I actually have completed the Jaeger mixology course as well. So I have a personalized engraved bottle with a nice little certificate of completion on the label. Still have all my Jaeger uniforms. Those are something. Yeah, they definitely took care of their people when I was there.
How'd you get involved with that?
Craigslist, believe it or not.
Craigslist, it gets a bad rep. Like, you could find some serious shit on there.
Mhm. It was crazy because when I saw the ad on Craigslist, it was just modeling job, and I'm like, okay, that sounds risky. But at the time, I also think it was like 2010, 2011. So like the crazy Craigslist era hadn't hit quite yet. It was still a reasonable time frame. So I'm like, okay, I call up, we talk, email back and forth. They're like, okay, we're gonna meet at this bar. Like, it's a weird interview spot, but okay, I guess it makes sense if I'm gonna be an alcohol model, show up at the bar. And there's just all these different girls there, and there was probably like 20 or 30 of us. And so it was super awkward at first, and I was like, you know what? Like, I don't see the person we're supposed to meet. Just start conversing, having drinks with the girls. Next thing you know, one of the girls I was talking to was actually the hiring manager, and that is part of their hiring process to see how you do as a model and how you interact with people. Is just they play plain clothes, everyday bar person.
That's so sneaky.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what? Like, are you joking? Like, I had to like do the double take, right? I'm like,
Am I getting punked?
where's Ashton Kutcher? This is a prank, right? And then she's like, no, we want to hire you. We want to hire you. There's like 5 of you we're bringing on. You're good. You're hired. You start next week. I was like, yes. Like
Was
I
it like a
just
big
turned 21.
reveal? Or was it just a hush-hush type thing?
It was a hush hush thing. So like basically the way they kind of did it is like they let everyone mingle. They saw like who left and who was willing to like hang out and wait, because that was the story they told us, was that the person we were supposed to interview with wasn't there yet, so we just had to wait for her to show up. And at the end, she kind of like grabbed the five of us, had us like go into like the side room where the pool table is. It's kind of an offshoot, and she was like, "Hey, so you five are the new Jaeger girls, and here's what we're gonna do next." Like, oh, okay, sweet.
Did you even know it was for Jaeger at that point, or were you learning
No,
what the job was right there?
I learned what the job was right there. They didn't communicate to us who it was with or anything. They just told us it was a modeling agency. And then I found out it was for Jägermeister, being one of the Jägermeister promo models.
That's honestly awesome, and I wish I could do something like that. I've always wanted to be a model. Now, Corey, I'm hoping that maybe you could draw upon some of that experience and kind of give me some tips on some potential poses, some looks, some maneuvers I can do. Well, will you be able to help me with that?
I think I can help you with this. Let's see what you got. Show me your moves.
Okay, I think we're exposing some of the studio. So here's what I got. I gotta lift it up so you can see my face. I think is that good? All right.
Yeah.
So
I think that one nails it. I think that should be your headshot right there.
all right. So how about this one? It's like I see a friend at the other side of the bar.
Yep. Great work.
Okay.
See, look at that. You're already a natural.
All right, we're cheersing. It's not pretend it's Jaeger or something.
Yes. So, see, here's the thing. Are we going for like we're at the bar cheersing with a group of friends, or are we going for like we're doing the classy cheers?
Is Jaeger gonna be in a classy setting?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. What's the classiest setting it's been in that you've worked?
That was a casting party for a large movie. I have NDAs, so I can't get too much into it. I like that.
They didn't expire.
I like that pose.
They wouldn't have expired by now.
I don't know, but Jägermeister has a lot of money, and I'm not going to test it.
Yeah. No. Okay, that makes sense. Understandable. Anyways, you think I got what it takes? You think I'm rocking the look right now? All right, cheers to that. Toast up the full throttle. Tap the camera. Bop. Oh fuck.
I think you got it. Like the can even matches the shirt. So like there's a full color theme thing going on here too. Like you've nailed it.
Yeah, I do feel like I'm solid now. And I feel like standing, honestly. I feel like it's kind of the move at this point. But no, I gotta sit down. I gotta be seated for the next procedure. Because while that is previous work that you've already done, you still have a job to do this weekend down in New York City, NYXL. What? Oh, wow. Now I'm too small. Ooh. Okay, there we go. I think. Oh. There we go. Fixed it completely. We're good now. The job's not done. And you're just getting started. So, I have to ask, what do you know about New York City looking to join NYXL?
New York City looking to join NYXL?
What do you know about New York City as you look to join NYXL? I guess that's a better question.
What do I know about New York City? So that's a little bit different. I was like, okay, so the whole city is joining NYXL? That's exciting. I knew they were building a new headquarters, but that's impressive.
They are? I didn't even know that. that.
Yeah. So I know basically just the basic tourist stuff. One of my friends said say yes to everything experience-wise while I'm there. She also said make sure that I look at my GPS before I go anywhere so I don't get lost. I am trying to figure out how the subway stuff works. Obviously, I know about Times Square. I don't know a whole ton, but I'm excited.
Well, it is an exciting opportunity, and I've been living in the city for quite a bit. I mean, the Late Night with Low studio right here in Queens. We've learned a few things here and there over our years of living in the city, and I want to bring you on a continuation of a series that we premiered here on Late Night with Low a few times. It's called I Know York. We're going to ask you a few trivia questions about this city, more cultural related with this city. So let's kick it off with the first one. Rapper Ice Spice in her song No Clarity said, "We're both from blank, so I know that you're dirty." What location is she talking about? Is it A, the Bronx, B, Queens, C, Harlem, or D, Brooklyn?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I am gonna go with B. I'm
B,
guessing B.
Queens. So we're both from Queens, so I know that you're dirty. Unfortunately, the answer is the Bronx. Ice Spice from the Bronx. And so whoever she's trying to get with is dirty. I'm not sure why. I don't know where the fuck she came up with that idea. Hotly contested, hotly debated on the legitimacy of that one. Okay, it's okay if you don't get any of these right. There is nothing on the line. It is just for fun, and I thought they were very dumb and fun questions. Question number 2. If you see someone wearing this type of shoe, it would be in your best interest to stay away from them. Is it A, FUBU, B, Timberlands, which are called Tins, but that's just for simplicity's sake, C, Black Air Force Ones, or D, Chunky Dunkies?
I mean, I feel like Tims are just a New York requirement, so I can't really say anything against Tims. Like FUBU's coming back, Air Force Ones are time. I don't know what Chunky Dunkies are, so I'm gonna go with the Chunky Dunkies.
The Chunky Dunkies are a Ben and Jerry's collaboration with the Nike Jordan shoe.
Oh?
Now, with a bit more context, is that going to be what your answer is?
Mm, I'm gonna say FUBU. I'm gonna get
FUBU.
FUBU here.
FUBU. It's actually, the answer is C, Black Air Force Ones. Algebra down in chat. He knew, but hey, don't you send the answers. But I'm glad the participation from the chat is here. Actually, no. Send in your answers. Corey, don't look it up. The answer was C. Yes, Black Air Force One. That's some activity you don't want to get involved with. Number 3 on the docket. It's another shoe question. Sorry, I don't know if you're involved with the shoe culture, but these shoes are locally referred to as Uptowns. Oh my god, I fucked up. I didn't put the actual answer in here. Oh, no! Shit! Alright, this one's a wash. It's white Air Force Ones. Fuck!
It counts. I get a point.
You get a point. You get a point. Oh man, the quality control here. Not solid. Not solid at Late Night with Lowe's Trivia for I Know York. Damn. Number 4. Which one of these words is a simile to the word smoochie? Is it A, op, B, shreesh, C, Aki, or D, dog?
I'm gonna guess op.
Op. Op is the final answer.
See, now you're making me second guess myself.
You know, maybe you should.
I don't recognize at least 2 of those, and dog has a bunch of different meanings. So yeah, I'm gonna go with op. I'm guessing op for this one.
Op is not a simile to smoochie. It is actually treesh, which is a simile to hoe, thought, anything like that. Treesh and smoochie are similes. Unfortunately, Corey, that is not going to work here, but question number 5 may be what you need. Question number 5. What does it mean to get something the Aki way? If you're on TikTok, you probably know this.
The Aki Way? I actually have not seen it on TikTok.
You haven't seen it on TikTok?
No.
Bro!
I think we're on different parts of TikTok, Los.
No!
sorry.
Correct.
Forgive me. I'm sorry.
All
I'm
right.
a typical New Yorker. I'm from upstate.
I know. It's okay. I did not know you never came to you never came to New York. But algebra, Lil Robin, you gotta go down to Red Hook and meet with Raw Money, the General Ak. He's a guy, he runs a deli, and if you ask him for the Aki Way, he really serves it up with a smile, and damn, it's one of the best things you could get. Sure, is a classic moniker. Look him up right after this, Corey. Right after the show is over. You gotta find out who this man is. Question number 6 coming in. What borough is considered the least valid? Queens, the Bronx, Staten Island, or Manhattan?
Ooh. Staten Island. I feel like there's been a lot of back and forth from people even I know out here that say Staten Island doesn't necessarily count.
Staten Island is your final answer?
Staten Island's the one I'm going with.
Well, you won't be living on an island because you are feeling good. That is correct. Staten Island, by and large, considered the least valid out of all the city boroughs. Why? Because, well, you got to take a bridge. There's no train that gets you over there. It's a lot of countryside and swamp. I was born there, but fuck that place. Anyways, great job, Corey. We have 2 more questions left. Let's see if you could land them and ace them. Question number 7. You're in the subway, and someone starts yelling the most obscene things to everyone in the train. What do you do? A. Turn up your music. B. Leave. C. Confront him. Or D. Nothing.
So I'm torn on 2 of these answers because the New York way is mind your business. So I'm going to go with A, turn your music up.
A, turn your music up is correct. A, B, and D, all of these are the right thing to do if someone is wilding out on the subway. Unless they're touching you, don't even look at them. Don't even look up. Don't even acknowledge them. Try and breathe quieter if you can. But otherwise, do not confront him. That is the correct answer. 2 so far. Let's see if you can kick off the finale, the final question. Question number 8. I honestly forgot what I put for this question. Should you hop the turnstile in the subway?
Is this rhetorical?
No.
Always.
That's fucking right. That's fucking right. You hop the turnstile. The MTA, they're not providing a good service. The cops are only there to get fare evader, so I'm not paying for it. Legally speaking, I always do. I'm not paying for it. There you go. The last 3, you completely killed it. Corey, Demshenanigans, you did it. You know enough New York to make it in this city. And now I think you're fully prepared for the experience, the creator camp down in New York City. YXLProject has a top 10 contender coming down this weekend. But unfortunately, that is going to be it. That's all the time we have here on Late Night with Los. Corey, Demshenanigans, one last question. Where can the people at home find you?
So you guys can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Demshenanigans. Also Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Demshenanigans everywhere. And yeah.
That is amazing. Thank you so much, Demshenanigans, everybody. We're going to wrap this one up. We're going to send it on to a friend of the show.